It was really interesting watching the screening last night. I think I hadn't anticipated quite how Scottish it was until I was sitting in front of a more international audience. Is set in rural Scotland, and it's about a group of young people who work as lifeguards in a local pool. So the two main characters of the piece are Jade and Collette. Collette has stayed in the small town and Jade has returned home after a dramatic incident at university, which you find out through the course of the series.
Have you seen anyone in Glasgow?
Me? Yeah. Yeah, I had a girlfriend, Angie, but it didn't work out.
Sorry.
And it's them coming together, having not seen each other since high school. Float's been inspired by multiple things. First of all, I grew up in a rural community in Scotland, and I was very keen to see that portrayed on television, because it's not often we get a contemporary version of that on screen. And I really wanted to tap into the particular issues that are faced by young people at the moment, things to do with mental health, to do with money, to do with opportunities in these small towns. And I was also really keen to portray a love story between young people that felt tender, because quite often it's sort of wrapped up in a bit of rock and roll, and actually I wanted to explore something that was much gentler and much more tender, yeah.
Promise not to tell anyone.
Promise.
I hope by telling such a specific story it speaks to a universal audience, but it was really interesting watching the screening last night. I think I hadn't anticipated quite how Scottish it was until I was sitting in front of a more international audience. But I really hope that the universal experience of the girls and the cast in general will speak to a universal experience to everyone. The tone of the piece is drama, but there's definitely moments of comedy. I'm always keen to balance out darkness and light. And so there's definitely moments of comedy, silliness, levity amongst the characters, and amongst some very serious themes. So hopefully there's a balance in there across the series. It was a very humbling experience, actually, watching it in front of the audience. It was the first time I'd seen it on a big screen. And of course, watching television is usually a very private experience. You don't get to watch the audience in the same way you do as a theatre, for example. And so it was a very profound experience for me, actually. I found it very moving, and particularly because so much of the story I wanted to tell was about representation and telling stories we don't usually get to see. So to watch it en masse with everybody, I must admit I found it very moving.